have some post-tournament data here for Post Infinite Forbidden. Make sure you guys smash the living crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. Now, first thing I want to preface with this data is we do not have Underworld Goddess legal for this tournament. We did not know at the time of putting this together if, you know, the Goddess or a mini closed world would be in the set, so I'm just tossing that out there. Unfortunately, you know, kind of in terms of testing, you're kind of bridging the gap for, you know, a multiple format scenario and kind of what you're expecting out here, and it's a little bit rough for expectations for what you could expect. So for this event, we got a lot of Snake Eyes. You know, it's also kind of interesting to see how these decks were utilizing the Snake Eyes package with the Fiendsmith stuff without Underworld Goddess present, because it just means that once you have the Underworld Goddess, that, you know, or the mini closed sky, things are about to get a lot more crazy on that front. We also had 3 Yubel decks. That's a lot of Yubel. Post Fiendsmith, I think, is where you're finally going to get to start to see all of the combos that this deck has to bring to the table are going to get way more scary. And if you are like, oh, you know, I don't know if, you know, this is a good call, trust me, you're about to be very, very intimidated by how this deck plays through. Your oddities for this, though. We had 1 Flonderies Duelist. Where in the world did that come from? I guess Flu being able to just kind of shift everything to a generic defense mode and just not really care about anything the opponent really could do, I think is fine. And we also had a Runic Duelist also floating around at the top tables. I'm actually kind of not shocked about that. Runic's Yubel matchup is actually like kind of tolerable. So it actually seems pretty good. So decent breakdown here. Let's pass on over to those deck lists. So starting off here, we have our first place list. Oh, hello, Luri. How are you? I love the fact that this card with the whole Fiendsmith package is just gas, full combo. We are doing double Tractus, which I did like, and trust me, this duelist had to work their butt off to play through some of those crazy matchups. And then, of course, this build is playing the triple copies of the Perilia. I'm not going to lie to you. This card's actually pretty good. You are probably going to get at least probably 2 cards off of this. Maybe 3 if you're playing against Snake Eyes, because it's called what it is, you know. The normal summon for the turn, the Diabell Star, and then the Pobbler being added to the hand, and special. Those are all important things for this. See, we are playing the Abominable Chamber here. I do side in the Rivalry. This card was glued to their hand. Like, this card did so much work for this duelist in those final rounds. Like, this is actually kind of nuts to see. But yeah, I think you are looking at a new standard for Yubel. Also, only 1 copy of the Pain. Next up here is our Runic Special. Going with the 2 Mono Awados. I feel like this is pretty fine. We're actually main decking a Dimensional Fissure to kind of off-put anything that the opponent might be trying to do. We do have the Gozen, the Rivalry, and there can only be 1. We are side decking 2 copies of the Cursed Steel down here. That's pretty good. Everything down here in the side deck, I like. The only thing I don't really know if I feel like we need is the Gaga Cowboy, but I guess there's just some scenarios where you need to be able to try to pressure burn for time, and you'll be good to do your thing. I still want to play multiple of this. I think Organism is such an insane card where it needs to be. Also, this build is not playing Card Scanner. That is very, very interesting. I do find Card Scanner to be an insanely good card, but I guess they just opted to have the Gozen match in over it. And, you know, it's not to say that, you know, results didn't actually prove themselves, because they actually did. All right, hey, it's our Snake Eyes deck. Oh, boy, how consistency has changed. 1 Fenrir, the 2 Unicorn, the 1 Temple, and then, of course, who needs any of this when you just have all of this gas right here? Yes, this is perfect. All of this search in the deck. Nobody will ever stop this. Double Talents. Side decking the 1 Thrust with the 1 Talents. Yeah, that's all pretty standard. 2 Pobblers. Honestly, I think the thing that helps this deck out so much is just all the little cash to your package here. Being able to splash this stuff in and get your free little board set up is good. Once again, can we put Flamber's Dragon to 1 so we can kind of call it a day in terms of the consistency hits? But this deck is such a strong pain in the butt in today's meta. Like, genuinely, this deck is enough to ruin days. It's what happens when you're the best deck in the room. But honestly, Yubel is edging this deck out very, very strongly. All right, look at this. 43 cards this time. Today we were feeling just a little bit spicy in our list, though. We wanted to play some buy steals in our deck. You know, those pesky Yubel players are looming around the corner out here, you know, and we want to start sniping away those Yubel monsters, you know. We don't want them to, you know, get a key piece back in their deck. I guess technically, if you can snipe the base form Yubel into the banish pile, you're technically doing a better job than I feel like you wouldn't be doing otherwise. So I guess that's kind of important to consider out here. Still doing one OSS, one of this, triple copies of the Crossout. Yeah, honestly, I'm still a little bit split on the Crossouts. You know, you're seeing people out here that are very easily not playing the Crossouts, and then people out here that are having success with the Crossouts. So you kind of just, you pick your poison and see what you're going to come up with in terms of results. Wanderies. Okay. We have the one DD Crow in here, triple shifter, that's pretty normal. I see that we are doing 2 copies of M-Pen. Honestly, let's call it what it is. M-Pen is an incredibly stupid card. I can't get over how stupid this card actually is. Also only playing, I guess the one Dark Ruler No More has been a pretty standard thing in these builds too, because it's 100% thrustable. Like, if you need to search for some sort of problem out, you can toggle on into this. I still don't know how I feel about, you know, only having one access to one Featherstorm. I think this card is stupid. This card wins you some free games, and I feel like people don't take enough of an advantage of this. I mean, you have 2 more down here on the side, which is fine. Your entire extra deck still is an irrelevant elephant. Like, if you have to access something down in your extra deck, oops, well, okay. What else we got? Oh, we have some Fiendsmith down here. Now, we do not have the Moon of the Underworld Goddess down here. It's not to say that you can't try. I mean, you know, if we get it, this deck turns into a completely different creature. But for now, not having that piece of the puzzle is going to leave you a little bit to be desired. Wow, triple Fiendsmith with the triple Tractus. Okay, there's the one Lurie. They're actually playing triple Talents and 2 Thrust. Okay, and this is what I wanted to see. Hey, hello, Azarune. How are you? Azarune being able to be searched off of the Silhouette hair here. This card, in my personal opinion, is very, very good. I do fully expect more people to kind of start to explore this option, because having, you know, a Link 2 that sets a trap card directly from your deck that, you know, just kind of punishes your opponent and absorbs, you know, a special summon. But we'll have to wait and see if it catches on. It had a little bit of play here, which is a start. Oh, we have more Yubel for you here. Okay, so the 2 Dark Beckoning Beast. This build did want to play the 2 Nightmare Pain. I mean, we're not doing any of the Fiendsmith stuff in here. So, you know, instead of trying to have that consistency that's kind of generated with that package, you've just kind of gone ahead and foregone that. And that's fine. We do play a copy 1-for-1. Okay. And this build also is playing the Pyraise maps. Once again, you can play pure Yubel. Nothing is stopping you from playing this build, but pumping an extra $300 into the deck with the Fiendsmith stuff does make the deck way more consistent. That's it's a pretty major thing. But, I mean, to be fair, if you're already paywalled behind walls and all that, I can understand why you wouldn't want to put that additional, you know, money into this and just kind of maintain where you are. So, yeah, pure Yubel, still a viable strategy. Absolutely nothing wrong with this. Just, if you think you're going to get as many wins as the Fiendsmith build, that's not going to happen. And then, oh boy, Fiendsmith, Yubel. Hi, guys, how are you? We are playing 2 copies of the Nightmare Pain down here. So, honestly, maybe 1 might be the way to go, because you did see the consistency on the first place list. You also have the triple copies of Crossout Designator. Yeehaw. In terms of the rest of this, I mean, a lot of Blue Angel Tears down here. This card is pretty strong. Also side decking the skill drains. So many skill drains. So many skill drains. Okay, well, I'm gonna be honest with you. That's it. That's your meta. A little bit of exciting things here, but please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think, and I will see your beautiful faces back here later today, guys. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.